The Country Underdog Podcast.
Okay. So you were talking about the voice and how y'all always used Zoom and all that. What would y'all use it for? I mean, I guess like COVID was happening,
Right.
but just kind of walk me through like the normal day on the voice and Zoom meetings.
It was in the smack dab of COVID, like right in the middle of it, which is still going on right now, but it was like pretty early on. I left in July, so it was pretty early on in, the COVID world, the new world we were in. But I left in July, and we were doing Zoom meetings to get us prepared for when we left. Travel meetings, we were doing all those, and so I got out there, and it was very secluded just because it was COVID. We couldn't go out. We couldn't we couldn't really hang out with anyone because of COVID and just the regulations or the restrictions they had. But it was all on Zoom. So everything we did with the meetings, getting us ready for, our blind audition, it was through Zoom, unless we had to go up on stage and perform our blind audition song, and then it was in person. But most of it was on Zoom, and it was a lot of sitting around in the hotel room because we couldn't really go anywhere. We couldn't do anything, except perform, which I'm so grateful that I had the experience. But it was kind of sad we couldn't do more with the contestants, and it wasn't a normal season for sure, but I'm very fortunate that I got the opportunity.
Right. So did you have to get like COVID tested and all that?
We did. We had to get COVID tested, I believe it was 3 times a week. So you had your days, that you would go downstairs and go get COVID tested. And we were all in a hotel. We were all in a hotel room. Not one room, but we were all in a hotel. And so we had the downstairs lobby, and they had it all set up for COVID testing. So it was definitely an adventure with the whole COVID situation, and trying to produce a TV show in the middle of COVID was definitely interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. So you didn't get to perform in front of a live audience and all that. Do you think that if you did perform in front of a live audience, would there have been more nerves to it in a way?
A lot of people, a lot of other contestants were talking about how sad they were that, the contestants weren't there, or not the contestants, sorry, the crowd wasn't there. They weren't in the seats, they weren't in the stands like usual. For me, it was almost more calming just because it was almost more personal with the four coaches and you. And that was pretty much it, which we had the crowd, through Zoom. It was a virtual crowd, but I felt more, connected with the coaches because the audience wasn't there. It was just more personal to me. The other contestants had, different opinions. They were all sad that the crowd wasn't there, but I was like, hey, it's more personal.
Yeah, for sure. So you were on Team Legend,
I was,
right?
yes.
Was he your first choice, or I can imagine Blake was, since y'all are both from Oklahoma.
Right. I mean, I don't think I really had, obviously Blake was my first choice just because I literally live 30 minutes from his lake house. So it was one of my first choices was Blake. At some point through the whole process of auditioning, I was just like, any of them. I don't care. I don't have a choice anymore. Any of them will work. I just want to get on this show. I don't care who I end up with. All the coaches are, they'll help either way. I don't care who I end up with at this point. So I
Right.
ended up with, Team Legend, and I couldn't have asked for a better team for sure. I think I almost had a better chance being on John Legend's team because of I didn't have all these country artists on my team. I was the very first country artist on John Legend's team, and I wasn't competing against another country artist. I was competing against, someone in a different genre, which was It was super cool, but it was kind of weird because it pushed me out of my comfort zone just a tad. Um,
Right.
but I think I had a better chance of being of continuing on the show if I was on Team Legend for sure.
Okay. Very cool. So who did you find yourself um, becoming the closest with, contestant wise?
Through through the start of the whole process, I was 17 at the time, and there was several minors in the production, and I was getting really really close with all the minors. Um, Team Legend also got really close. Tamara Jade, John Holiday, which I think he's from Houston. John Holiday was from Houston. Um, Team Legend got really close. I got really close with the minors. I think we were as close as we could get, considering the circumstances of COVID and not being like, super, super tight. We weren't allowed to go eat together. Um, we were as close as we could be, but I got super close with Team Legend, um, and then the minors for sure.
That's super cool. So had a lot of them, like, who out of all the minors had the most like performing experience, like live shows and all that? I don't know how much you have, but
I've been singing since I was 7 years old.
right.
But I've been performing and, gigging for about 3 years now. I think all of us kind of started with the same amount of experience.
Hmm.
The trio, I don't know if you remember the trio, Worth the Wait. I think they had some good experience as well, opening for people, and they've been out doing their thing for a while now. I know for sure that they were three sisters, and now they're a mother-daughter trio. Um, I think the sister was, busy with other things, and so she couldn't go. But I know
Yeah.
they had been busy previous, to The Voice. So there were a lot of minors that didn't get to audition, which was super sad because they were pretty amazing, and they couldn't make it to blind auditions.
Well, I came across this video on TikTok the other day of this girl who she released her performance videos from American Idol,
Mhm.
and how they weren't going to air them or whatever because they
I,
said
I think I saw
she
this exact
she
video.
that she was like too young and all that stuff. So I think that's something that separates The Voice from the other shows, is that
Right.
Voice, they don't care. They're not necessarily just trying to turn you into a money making machine.
Exactly.
It's more about the talent and
Yeah, for sure.
development.
For sure. And it's kind of the same thing with American Idol. It doesn't um the I don't want to say this, but I'm just gonna The Voice doesn't try to make a joke out of some people. They don't do that.
Right.
Um which is a really good thing. I think I was very fortunate to end up on The Voice. I did try out for American Idol a few years ago. Didn't have a great experience. It was in Waco, and you know, I'm very fortunate that I got on The Voice. It took a few tries, but here I am, top nine, so it was worth it.
Yeah. So I think going on these singing shows, I mean, it's not for everyone. There's plenty of artists who I've listened to their stories, and they talk about how people are always like, you should go on The Voice, you should do this, you should go on American Idol. Why haven't you done this? Blah 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 blah. Some people would rather do it like straightforward, don't want
Right.
to go through all the production and all that stuff, whereas some people it just works out, and it's perfect
Mhm.
for.
Yeah.
um and I think that's your situation. I mean, I was following your music before you went on to The Voice, and I had known who you were, and then you're like, boom, going on The Voice, and it just increases exposure exponentially,
It did.
which is really awesome. um
It was crazy to see how much my social media numbers went up. At first it was blinds, and it was battles, and they just kept going up and up until I reached, the live shows, and it was just crazy. It's crazy how much social media following I gained. It was insane.
It's important. I don't know how much you do on TikTok. I don't know if I if I follow you on TikTok,
Oh,
but
I am very I have followers on TikTok because of the voice. They have TikTok and then they post me and they tag me.
oh yeah, oh
One of
yeah.
it was one of their requirements that we needed to make a TikTok, just account so they could tag us. And I have followers. I have zero videos, zero. I need to get started on it though, for sure.
There you are.
There I am.
um, so it's funny in today's country music industry. There's so many different ways that you can take your career, especially with the new TikTok generation. There's all these artists like the 615 House and just people just creating content and then singing over their own songs in order to just like feed the algorithm in a
Right.
way. So that's one way of doing it, and
Yeah.
getting all these followings for people who probably haven't even done any live shows
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I have my own opinions on all that. And
Yeah.
then there's the artists who are like, I was listening to a podcast with Tristan Merez the other day. He was talking about how he really doesn't like TikTok, and it's so weird to sit there and sing a song and all that stuff. Um, and then there's artists like Morgan Wallen who figured out the whole leaking their demos thing, and
Yeah.
that got massive.
Right.
So there's all kinds of different ways to go about it. There's artists who don't do any social media.
Mhm.
They just put out music and they play town to town,
Right.
the old fashioned way. And
Yeah.
there's just so many different ways you can go about your career. And I don't think there's any one correct way.
No, for sure. I've just been kind of watching. I try to get on TikTok to kind of see what everyone else is doing, like what, for example, I don't know if you know May Estes.
Yeah.
She's a Nashville recording artist now, but her career started on TikTok. It's just so crazy how the times have changed. When I first started, it was pretty much just social media, Instagram, Facebook. That was it. A
Right.
lot of my following started when I performed at the Opry's. I was an Opry girl. I was every weekend. I was somewhere in Texas performing at the Opry's when I was like 12. I was I was at
Really?
every Opry you could imagine. And they were just the small hometown Opry's. And so most of my following on Facebook, the average age is about 50, 60. So I couldn't make TikToks now and expect all my Facebook following to go over to TikTok because they're
Right.
50
Right.
years old. But that's kind of changed since The Voice. My following age range has changed just a little bit, but I just think it's funny how everything starts, and then here we are today. TikTok is the new. It's the new. It's just the new.
Oh yeah. So are you living in Nashville now?
I'm not. I
You're
am
not?
still in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Still in Durant. I don't know if you know where Durant is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know where Durant is. I actually live 15 miles southeast.
Okay.
Tiny.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, super tiny town. I'm still living here. Um, I'm just kind of riding the waves right now. If Nashville calls, I'm there. I love the Texas scene right now, and that's what I'm trying to do at the moment. But if Nashville calls, I'm there for sure.
So one of the things that has been happening lately, and Cody Johnson kind of opened the doors, is these Nashville's finally recognizing like Texas country. So there's artists like Randall King and Tristan Merez and all these Texas guys who are living in Nashville now, because
Yeah.
that's where all the really good recording studios are, where you can make all of these connections. So
For
Tristan
sure.
Merez, I mean, his manager is Alex Torres, and he out of Nashville, and basically he's a Texas boy and all releasing music in Nashville, and it just still sounds like Texas, and just staying true to that sound, writing songs from the heart
Right.
is what it's all about.
For sure. For sure. Um, like I said, I do want to start a Texas country. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to be a successful Texas country artist at the moment. Um, I think you're completely right about, opening the doors to Nashville. Cody Johnson did it best. So honestly, I'm okay with anything at this point, as long as I just want to be successful is what I'm trying to do. And, I still have a few years. I'm only 18. I still have a few years to keep going, but yeah, I'm just excited to see what happens.
Right. So, I mean, when do you plan on playing shows again?
I'm in the midst of it right now. I had a
You are?
show, I think it was last weekend at Love and War in Plano. I'll be at Gillies the 16th, and then we have, we're I just I just started a band. So this is
Okay.
really new to me. Our first show was Love and War a couple weekends ago. Um,
Love and War is a good spot.
it
I'm
is.
from McKinney, which is
Oh,
like
okay.
10
Okay.
minutes away from there.
Yeah. Yeah. I played at Love and War a few times. I'm really excited for Gillies. That's going to be fun. I'm from Durant, so it's going to be a packed house for sure. I'm super excited for that. And then we have dates, all throughout the summer. Um, I'm just
Okay.
really excited to see where this whole band thing goes, because this is all new to me. I've been performing with, the
Other
Texas.
people's bands.
Well, I have been performing with the Texas Country Music Hall of Fame band, because I am the ambassador for 2020. 20,
Okay.
um, so they've been my band for the longest time, just because, they're right there. They're an amazing band, and they're a bunch of old guys, so they're really cool. They're really cool. But it was time for me to start my own band. The whole process was kind of fun. We had auditions. There were a lot of people who wanted to be a part of the band, and I finally got my people, and I'm excited. I'm really excited.
That's cool. So I saw you were holding auditions.
hmm
How did that go? How many people did you bring on board?
I have a three-piece, drums, bass, guitar. I play rhythm. Um, the whole process was really fun. Like I said, we had, I think it was 20 people want to audition, which is super cool. I think, the whole Voice season 19 name drop doesn't hurt at all. So
Not at all.
not at all. Um, it went really smooth, and I finally have, three guys that are amazing, and we're very, very. They're kind of like older brothers. They're good guys. They're really good guys. Um, but the whole audition thing, I had someone else handle that, because I can't break someone's heart. I can't do it. I can't say no to anybody. I'm one of those soft-hearted people. I'm like, sure, I'll just have 85 people in my band. That's fine. 20 guitar players and 20 drummers. It's fine. Um,
Mhm.
so I was a part of the audition process, but I couldn't say no to anybody. So I had someone else be the stern. No, thank you. I know I'm gonna have to get some time.
I bet that's tough. I bet it is tough.
Uh,
Um, so you're about to release a new single?
I am. I'm releasing it the same night I'll be at Gillies. Um,
Okay.
16th. I'm super excited about it. It's called Gypsy Cowboy. It was actually written by myself and two other co-writers who are from the Texas area. Tammy Marler's from Winsboro, and I'm really not for sure where Colleen Francis is from, but I think it's a great song. I've had it for a while now, and we're just releasing it. With the voice contact, we couldn't really release any music for a while. So, uh,
Really?
yeah, I'm just getting back in the swing of things, and I'm
So
about to get back into the studio for the one after Gypsy Cowboy. So it'll be really cool.
so the voice has a contract that you can't release music whenever you're on the show, before or
Not
after.
on the show, which I think there was, you can release it, but you can't promote it. So it's kind of like, why would we release it, not promote it? So I think we were just holding off for a while, just to get out of contract and all that good stuff. But Now I'm free. So here's the music.
Well, that's good. So I see that you've written with Charlie Shearer
Mhm.
on 2 of your songs.
Yeah, Charlie is actually where I'm at right now. I'm in Denison, Texas. I'm in my little studio where I teach vocal lessons, guitar lessons, ukulele lessons. It's what I do during the week to help me get through college. But there's someone talking right now. Um, I'm in the vocal studio right now where Charlie and his wife they teach vocal lessons, guitar lessons, all that good stuff. Shonda is actually she's coached Chris Colston, Colby Cooper, Holly Tucker.
Really?
Yeah, I think they were at the beginning of their careers, but her and Chris are super close. But this is the studio where they come and take vocal lessons, and they are very good at helping to start people's career, which is what they've been doing for me for the past 5 years.
Mhm.
But
So
Charlie is a songwriter. This is where I was going with that. Charlie is a songwriter, and he was the one who wrote "Never Been This Lonely," which is my first single. It was released last January.
mhm.
And he was the one who wrote that, and then we did a co-write, and it was my second single, "I'm in Love."
That's cool. And then you covered Waylon's song. Are you sure Hank done it
I
as
did.
well?
Yes, I stole that from Charlie. I stole that version. I was like, I'm gonna go record that. I hope you're okay. I grew up on Waylon Jennings, Merle Haggard. Um, I thought it would be a good tribute to Waylon Jennings, the great Waylon Jennings. So I
For
released
sure.
it, I think it was November. Wrong one, November of last year. But
June, November.
June,
They're close enough, I guess.
June was when "I'm in Love" was released.
Mhm. So, are you looking at releasing an EP sometime?
I'm hoping. I've kind of noticed. Yeah, I thought singles were doing better than EPs. I've kind of just been watching to
Yeah.
see how everyone's numbers are going, and I'm starting to notice that singles are. I mean, they're just. I thought they were doing better than EPs, but at this point, I'm just like, I just need to get an EP out there,
Right.
and then I can keep releasing singles after that. But I
So,
do
where have you been recording at?
actually. I recorded my first song at Chad Malden's, and I think he's in. Where is he at? It starts with a G. Oh no!
Grand Prairie. Great. I don't know.
If you know who Chad Malden is,
I've heard the name. Yeah.
he's the one who did my first single, and then there was a studio that is in the vocal studio, and I did my second single and the cover, and then I
Mhm.
actually recorded my last one at Brad Davis's in Commerce, Texas.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
so I'm really happy about how it turned out. So I think I'm gonna stick with him for a while. I think I'm gonna stick with him.
Let's see. What else? What interesting has happened in your life within this past week?
Oh goodness, this week
Yeah. Anything special?
I'm trying to think. My weeks start to run together. I have students Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I have a full day of students, so my weeks start to run together just a tad. Um, I'm trying to think. What day is it? I don't even know what day it is right now.
It's Wednesday,
Wednesday. Okay, so what
the
happens on?
7th.
I'm trying to think. I don't think any. I think it's just a normal week. Just normal.
So you teach vocal lessons for a living currently?
I am a musician on the
Right.
weekend, but I do have to do something to get me through college. Um,
Where are you going to college?
I'm starting Collin County in McKinney,
Okay.
getting my commercial music degree. So it'll be
Cool.
it'll be really cool. I'm excited to start. I'm going to start my basics this summer. So I got to have a job to get me through all that. So
Yeah. You putting yourself through?
yes, I'm going to try anyway. I'm dang sure going to try.
That's awesome. Collin County is not that expensive. It is definitely doable.
Yeah, for sure.
And-
I
and-
I am worried about driving every day to McKinney because I'm not the best driver. I'm not, but we're gonna
How
try.
many tickets have you had?
No, I'm just kidding. I actually haven't been pulled over. Knock on wood. I haven't been pulled over. I'm surprised because I drive like a speed demon. But I haven't been pulled over. Knock on wood.
Yeah, you better
No,
knock on wood.
I just thought of something interesting that happened to me. Um, so I was part of a hit and run. Someone that
Oh.
hit my car and drove off, so I chased him down, got his license plate, and went to the police. Boom.
When was this?
Interesting. You said what?
When was this?
This was Saturday.
Oh, and you just couldn't remember that.
I couldn't remember that.
happened?
No, I was trying to think like Monday, Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday. Nothing's happened. Monday, Tuesday.
Mhm.
Nothing's happened. But I was part of a hit and run, sadly. I chased him down now. I chased him down.
I've only hit another car like one time, like backed into him in a parking garage, and like I like left my number and all that stuff. I got out of there.
I'm feeling my number right here.
Yeah, he called kind of mad. Frankly, I don't know what happened in that situation. I really don't remember what happened.
Oh my goodness.
But so you are living in Denison,
I'm living in Roberta still.
Roberta.
Yeah, over there by
So you go from Roberta to Denison for vocal lessons, and then you're going to also go to McKinney.
McKinney, yes. Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm in the car 24/7. 24/7.
What's the farthest away that you have ever played a show, not The Voice?
Probably Nashville.
Okay.
Nashville. CMA Fest, probably.
Really?
I'm trying to think where else. My oh, sorry, hang on. Can you still see me? Oh my god. Oh no. Hang on. Okay. I'm good. We're good now. We are good now. Hang on. Sorry. My family lives in Nebraska, so there's my mom grew up in Valentine in tiny town. But there are a few places that want me to play every time I get there. I don't get a break. I don't get vacation, apparently. So they want me to play at, a few beer joints and things like that. So probably there too. And then The Voice, obviously.
What is your dream venue to play at?
Grand Ole Opry.
Okay.
That was so fast. I was like, Grand Ole Opry.
I mean, it's almost a stupid question because everyone kind of says the same thing. Some people
Yeah.
say. Just
I don't know, though. Texas-wise,
the blue
probably
light.
yeah, probably the Tap or Blue Light.
The Tap. Okay. I was just talking with Parker Ryan
It's
the
doable.
other day.
It's doable. I'm
Oh, yeah. Easy.
setting my goals pretty easy, and then I'll start kind of advancing just a tad.
So, do you ever plan on living in either Lubbock, College Station?
I would love to move to Texas for sure. That way I'm there because right now, I mean, Caitlin Butts is from Oklahoma and she moved to Texas for a reason. So,
Yeah.
I do want to move down to Texas. I'm not for sure where. Not for sure where. It'd definitely be easier to go to college if I live in Texas, around McKinney area. But right now,
well, I mean, when it comes to like Texas country, it's like either like Lubbock, like these artists are from Lubbock, or they're like College Station is kind of becoming a hot spot, or Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Those really seem to be the places for
Right.
it all in the scene.
Yeah.
And you can kind of hang out with the other artists who are also in that scene and just collaborate and see who makes it big. And I mean, who's an artist that you would love to collaborate with, like currently?
That's a great question. Probably Hughes Brother Band.
Really?
Yeah, we've talked before. I was on one of his lives, and I think that we can make some really cool music. So probably them, or I know Gracie York, probably.
Yeah.
Um, Also Madison Rogers, she's
Hmm.
incredible. I think it'd be really fun to do a duet with her. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still new. I'm
A
still pretty.
duet or just writing, you know.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I would like to write. I'm still new to writing. I started about, I guess it was a year ago, or maybe 2 years ago. So I'm still pretty new. The whole process at the beginning was very intimidating, just because I'm a perfectionist, and if I don't have it perfect the first time, I don't really want to try again. So I'm like,
Right.
yeah. Um, I've kind of put that, past me, and I realized that not everything's going to come out so perfect, like I want it to. Um,
Hmm.
but I have to keep writing. That's how I'm going to make it. In the music business is, releasing singles, writing, always releasing something new. So,
Right. I mean, not everything's going to come to you necessarily.
right,
Like,
right.
right. You kind of got to make it for yourself. I mean,
Yeah,
look at Morgan Wallen. I mean, he's the biggest act in country music right now,
yeah,
and um, he, Nashville kind of has this stigma for not writing their own songs and all that, but he's really been writing most of them or co-writes with his buddies, or some of his best friends write the song for him.
yeah,
So what he's done on social media in his personal life is just really awesome. And I think it's something that a lot of people should try and replicate and are trying to replicate. Like if you can have three really good friends or just two really good friends that are also artists and y'all can write together,
mhm.
that would be awesome. I mean, he's got Hardy. Um, what's the other dude's name? Um, what is his name?
I know Hardy. I know about Hardy. I don't know about the other one
Ah, he goes by something weird also too. Um, let me see. Who am I talking about? That's gonna bug me.
though. I always forget Morgan was on The Voice too.
Yeah, that is so weird. And something that I like noticed, I
Hmm.
went back and listened to his old music, like from before he was on The Voice, and then like whenever he was on The Voice, and as the years go on, he like gets more twang.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I don't think he was like for country on The Voice. I think he was on Adam Levine's team. And I think he was like more rock-ish. Um,
Ernest is the name.
Artist. Okay,
Ernest.
okay.
Yeah, but shoot, I think Ernest is like I think he's like 20. I think he's like 20,
Oh wow.
21. Like I think he played college baseball or he's done now or he still was while also doing music and becoming friends with Hardy and Morgan. They just kind of Morgan started getting big, Hardy started getting big, and they were just kind of together,
Yeah,
riding together.
that's really
But
cool.
yeah, let's see. Old Morgan Wallen. Um,
I think I always forget it because he really started getting, bigger later on after The Voice, like
right.
later on. So I always forget that sometimes that, oh,
Well, he was on The Voice in 2014, and so that was 6 years ago. It took him
Oh,
6 years to get to where he is.
yeah, wasn't that long,
Um,
I guess.
he released or the voice songs that are on here is "Story of My Life," "Stay," "Hey Brother," and "Collide." I don't think any of those are country.
I think he was more. I think that's a problem too. Sometimes is I was very worried going on The Voice that they were going to try to change who I am as an artist. What songs I wanted to sing, and my heart belongs to traditional country music, and that's what I've grown up on. And we couldn't do originals, or I would have done an original, but um, my heart belongs to traditional country music, which now it belongs to Texas country also. But um, that was kind of my thing throughout The Voice, and I was very worried they were going to try to change that. But John was like, that's who you are as an artist, and we're not going to change that at all. So I'm wondering if that's not what happened to Morgan. Was he got on Adam Levine's team and it just kind of shifted,
Right.
kind of
Or they just wanted to see like get him out of his comfort zone in a
For
way.
I don't know if you
So
watch lives, but I did Pompeii.
okay.
So I don't. It's like that was like what came on the radio when I was like younger, a lot younger. But
That's the one that goes
yes,
oh, eh.
and so that one was definitely not a country song. So I was going, oh, I gotta sing that. So that definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone for sure. For sure, definitely interesting.
Now, is the voice? Are they gonna like release any of the songs that you sang?
I think they do like the live songs. Um,
Right.
like the live show songs. They're already released on Apple Music, YouTube, all that stuff.
Oh,
We
because
went.
they're not on Spotify.
I don't think they're on Spotify. I think they're just on Apple Music and YouTube,
Is that some sponsorship that they did with Apple? I guess.
Google. So it's on
Go-
Google Play.
Ah,
Actually, I don't think it's on Apple Music. I think it's just on Google Play and YouTube. Yeah,
that's weird.
sponsored by Google.
Oh gosh.
Yay!
So you've probably through the voice, you've probably gotten to meet a lot of really cool people, celebrities or not. Who else did you meet besides the judges that was like really awesome to meet?
Any of the contestants were just super cool to meet. We really didn't have any. I wish we had just a little more coach and interaction, but with COVID, it just didn't happen. Usher was super cool to meet. The one of the new mentors for this season is
Mhm.
Snoop Dogg, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, why didn't y'all give me that? Why couldn't you change that?" But Usher was still super cool to meet. A lot of the just I don't know what to call them, production crew. Everyone there was just really cool. They were really, really cool, and you could tell they wanted the best for you. And so whenever someone would, have to leave the show, I just remember all the production crew being so sad to see that person go, which is crazy because how many people do they see a year?
Right.
They see everyone for blind auditions. There's like 70 of us. And they see that twice a year. So I don't know how they can maintain those connections to all the contestants that they meet, but it's super cool. And the production team is just really cool there. Through social media, Leanne Womack has shared a bunch of my posts and liked and commented, and I'm like,
Okay.
life is complete. We're done here. I quit. I'm kidding.
So if you could meet any artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
That's a good question. I got to think on this for just a second.
Go ahead, take your time.
Are we talking Texas country? Like just any?
Anyone.
This is a hard question because I have like 7 of them, I would say right now. I would say probably Merle Haggard because he was a songwriter before anything. And I think that
Right.
was, I think that's just super cool. Now, alive, it would be Reba. It'd be Reba for sure.
She seems super cool. I've seen like Aaron Watson have a couple posts like with her in it, just like hanging out at the ranch and stuff like that.
I think it's just like around here. If you see Reba, I mean, she comes here to like Texoma area all the time, which is super weird. So everyone will be like, "Hey, we saw Reba at Cotton Patch." Where it's like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Cool.
I'm jealous, but a funny story about the whole Cody Johnson Reba, Dear Rodeo thing.
Yeah.
I think so. Split Windows. I don't know if you've heard of them. Chris Romaine. He did. Austin Michaels, if you know him. He's done a lot of stuff for him, but Split Windows is here kind of around Denison area, and they were doing the videos for Reba and Cody Johnson. So that was super, super cool because I know Chris, and he mentioned my name to Cody Johnson, and was like, this girl was on The Voice. She super traditional country. And I actually went to a Cody Johnson concert, a couple days later, and Chris was like, I told Cody Johnson to give you a shout out at Billy Bob's that night. And he never did, but I think he was just so excited to be able to play because they hadn't played in so long.
Right.
And so long, that was like one of their first shows back. But it was super cool that he knew my name, and he knew that, I love traditional country music. So that was super cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And hopefully we get a new Cody Johnson album this year.
Yes.
It's been what, 2-3 years?
2, I think. Was his last one.
Since Ain't Nothing to It.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Yeah.
They've just been replaying the Deer Rodeo stuff over and over and over again. And it's kind of annoying because it's like, bring us the new music.
Right. Which I think I follow Cody Johnson on Instagram, and I think it's super cool how they're trying to, recreate all the old rodeo stories and stuff like that.
Right.
It's a super cool, thing they're doing. And I've been watching all their videos and hearing Reba's story and hearing Cody Johnson's story, and it's definitely good motivation for anyone who wants to become a country artist. So.
For sure. So would you consider, like, if you could say you're a combination of a couple different artists, who would it be? Like how you sound,
right?
How you write, like stuff like that.
I get all the time that I have a little Lee and Womack in my voice, which is super cool, and that's very, it's very flattering that they, think I sound like Lee and Womack, which is super cool. I would hope I'm trying to create my own sound. I'm trying to find my place right now. I still have a little bit to figure that out, but I'm trying to find what I want to sound, what my sound is like. That sounds a little weird, but you know what I mean.
No, I get it.
I'm trying to find who I want to be as an artist. I've grown up singing traditional country music, but I want to find what I want to do, what my music sounds like. And so I think that I still will have a little Leanne Womack classic country in all of my songs, no matter what I do, just because that's what I love. But I'm hoping that my music kind of sounds like Flatland Cabaret Girls version, with that steel, the fiddle.
Yes.
Even Cody Jinks still has a bunch of traditional sounding things to his music.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's the route I want to take, but spin it to a little bit of me. Just a little bit of me.
Do you want to have any kind of like rock sounds in your music? Or
I do wish this next one that I'm releasing is, it's very, how do I want to put it? It's very fiddle, steel, things like that. So it sounds Texas country, but it's pretty traditional country as well. I want to eventually kind of turn over to the edgy side, like kind of have Cody Jinks, kind of have the Cody Jinks sound in my music, which would be super cool because he's been one of the artists that I've looked up to for a while.
What do you think about Morgan Wade? Have you listened to very much Morgan Wade?
Yes. One of my favorite songs by her is The Night. And I actually do that at my gigs. I sing that song at my gigs, but
okay.
I really like her music, and I think she's cool as a person too.
She's super honest and a little bit hard on herself when it comes to like her writing
and
all that. But I feel like you being hard on yourself and honest with yourself when it comes to writing is what people really like can connect with.
Yeah.
So like if you're putting out stuff that is just very like touching the surface, not necessarily deep, people really aren't gonna connect with it as much. It's the songs that are super real and sometimes sad,
Yeah.
that are the ones that
Yeah.
really help people and that people listen to over and over again.
That's true. It's true.
Um,
I would hope my songs, some of my songs are, um, like Never Been This Lonely was definitely one of the saddest songs I've heard, probably. I've never been this
yeah,
lonely when you were here, but, I would hope my songs are able to connect with people, because that's one of my goals. I want to be able to connect with whoever's listening to my song. Um,
yeah, for sure.
and I think I I would hope that's what the past few songs that I've released have done. I have a few that I know that will people will be able to connect to, and I'm hoping to get those released, pretty
Oh
soon.
yeah,
But
a lot of it comes with just getting older. I mean, you're young,
sure.
having different life experiences. You might have an experience, and then boom, there's a song out of it. You might be driving on the road and something hits you. Um, what do you see? Actually, what was I going to ask? I don't know. I've talked to a couple artists about what they're like, how they write their songs, like like if they had to sum it up in like one situation. Some are like, man, I smoke a blunt and I sit in my room and and it just comes to me.
Yeah.
Others are like, I get really drunk, I might be asleep, and I might wake up at 3 a.m. And write down a bunch of stuff, wake up in the morning and not remember writing a song. But there's sheets of paper everywhere. Um, so I know everyone has different writing styles. Sometimes people might be driving down the road and like a hook comes to them, and they're like, "Okay, we gotta see where this goes." What do you see being your like writing situation?
I definitely, which I told you, I'm still pretty new to the whole writing process. I
Right.
want to one day get to the point where I can sit down. Right now, I cannot make myself sit down and think of something. It has to come to me, or it's not gonna. Which it probably
Yep.
sounds bad. You're like Bailey. You're never gonna get.
Oh,
You're never gonna get anywhere. You're never but it's just one of those things where I can't make myself have a feeling when I've had so many things going on in a day, and then try to sit down and write. But I am very fortunate that I have things come to me. And I'm able to write them down on paper. Situations like waking up in the middle of the night and thinking of a song, that does happen to me quite often. Uh,
mhm.
it's very weird. I do remember the songs that I wake up to. I do remember those.
Well, I hope you're not really drinking heavy yet.
Yeah, not yet. But I do remember the songs that I wake up to. Um, I may not remember how I sang them, and then I have to figure that out all over again. But
Yeah.
the voice memos at 2 a.m. Um, trying to figure out, what I sang in the middle of the night. I do that a lot. Um, or, just sitting, listening to some stories of I have an older sister. She'll be telling me about, some of the stuff she did in high school, and I'm like, good songs come out of those situations. So, um, I'm still pretty new, like I told you, and I don't know. It's a sometimes frustrating process, but I'm getting into it just a little bit.
That's good. So you submitted a video for our Country Underdog Awards show, along with a bunch of other artists, and that's something that I hope to do again this coming year, hopefully in person.
Yeah,
So we'll have it out here in Longview, most likely. Um, figure out. I got to figure out all the details when it comes to that.
yeah,
But I initially wanted what we did to be in person, but it was way too much work as is, and shoot, it still didn't even go the way that I wanted to. I spent so much time on it and just kind of threw it together. But I've gotten a lot of feedback. Um, Whenever people talk about, hey, like you help people get some people into the Texas scene
mm,
or whatever. So I mean, Country Underdog, like I I love Texas country music, traditional country music, all that stuff, and I even love the newer like rock sound, like Texas rock has been happening. But I don't really consider us like Texas only like promoters. I mean, there's like Texas music pickers who only like do Texas and Oklahoma. And I try not to be biased when it comes to that because there's artists that are in Seattle, the Carolinas, wherever that are super talented that don't necessarily fit into
Okay.
Nashville or Texas. So just to kind of try and spread some of the light onto all those
Yeah,
artists.
that's awesome what y'all are doing. I think that's super cool.
I don't make any money from any of this that I do.
Yeah.
I say this on almost every podcast that I do. If I was in the money business, I wouldn't be in the music business.
Yeah.
And I just really believe in everything that y'all are doing. I believe in you as an artist and the hard work that y'all put into it and all the songs that y'all write and sing from the heart. And I think that is exactly what should be nationwide, not necessarily the overproduced Nashville. Hey, I found you in a shopping mall. Let's get you some vocal lessons and turn you into a country artist. Let's put these skinny jeans on you and tell you where to play, what songs to sing. Um, and then they get all the attention
Right.
because they have the big dollars behind them.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do what I can with all of y'all with zero money.
Well, that's
I know most of y'all don't have very much money either, and what y'all have, y'all spend on recording.
right.
um, I just it's got to be hard to keep going sometimes. It's got to be discouraging whenever you don't see your songs blowing up on Spotify or Apple Music and all that stuff, and it pisses me off. It pisses me off too. Um, so I just try and do what I can, whether it's blog article, social media post on TikTok. We got 55,000 followers on TikTok.
Wow, that's awesome.
But then we only have like 3,000 on Instagram. Like, but we have I'd probably say 80% of our following on Instagram is other artists. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, what we've really done is kind of create a community in a way. I've got people that comment on things of other artists all the time, and that probably would have never known about each other. And so, just when it comes to any kind of impact, I'm talking about myself way too much. This is about you. I'm sorry.
Because I love to hear, about what y'all do and how y'all are doing it, and it's awesome.
I mean, we're no whiskey riff necessarily. I mean, whiskey riff's been around for 6 or 7 years, so they've had time to kind of grow. I mean, we're growing slowly. I mean, we have an office now, so that's a
It's awesome.
step. Yeah, that's where I am. I'm in the office.
Cool.
um, yeah. So we can have people come and sit down for podcasts over here in person. We're building a podcast studio, like actual studio, right in that door right there. But just trying to do everything with little money is hard. It's just letting passion drive it. Like I'm passionate about y'all, just like y'all are passionate about the music that y'all put out, and it all kind of comes back around. I don't ask anything from y'all. I don't even promote our own merchandise anymore because I would rather people go buy y'all's merchandise.
Wow.
Because one $25 hat is equal to a person listening to one of y'all's songs 5,000 times. That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I'm very
Um,
excited that y'all have been, um, sharing my stuff, liking my stuff, and I'm very fortunate that y'all asked me to do the award show, the virtual award show thing. So that was really cool.
That's cool. It was cool. We had over 7,000 votes on the award show, so that's more views than we get on a ton of things. But really, it's all just a starting point. All it takes is time to continue to grow. Same with music. You just gotta keep nurturing it. Don't give up. Always believe in the underdog, as Aaron Watson says.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a billion ideas, and I spread myself too thin, and so trying to just rein everything in that we're doing on Country Underdog, and really focus on what works. And so the podcast that's been working lately, people have been really excited about that. We're apparently setting one up with Austin Mead and Co Wetzel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my buddy was backstage with Austin Mead last week, and he was like, "I want to be on your podcast." He was like, "Okay." He was like, "Yeah, come to San Antonio or whatever. Or we'll fly you out to San Antonio in a couple weeks, and we can get you on with Co and all them." And it's like,
My goodness.
heck yeah. So I mean, it's really all it's about is just making connections with all of you,
For sure.
and figuring out how I can help in any way.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Congratulations. That's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, hopefully it happens. But so the real cool thing is, like with Pecos on the Rooftops, we were the first person to ever interview them before this damn song had 100 streams. And I remember sitting down talking to them like this, and they're sitting in Lubbock in their little house drinking Keystones, and they had just released the song like 2 days before this, and we just established a connection with them. And now the song has over like 24 million streams on Spotify alone. So that connection that we established, I mean, I've hung out backstage with them 3 times. They all know my name. That's just really, really cool to me, and what it's all about. So,
And I think a lot of these artists are very, very down to earth. Very, they are.
oh yeah,
And I think that's what kind of throws me off about some people in the music business. Nashville can
yeah,
really hurt you, but just the people that are around here. I say around here like I live in Texas. I'm a Texas girl. No, they're very down to earth, and they seem very very sweet and kind, and I think that's really cool that they're easier to make connections with instead of trying to approach someone who's very standoffish and
mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But I'm very glad that they're still very humble and very very, very good guys. So
For sure. And I mean, I could tell that about you from day one, just over text, how down to earth you are. I mean, shoot, I don't ask many people for anything. I probably get like 300 emails a week asking for promotion, or people sending me songs to listen to and all this stuff. I can't get to all of them. So really, really what it comes down to is I post what I think people would like to hear, what I think is deserving, and I don't know. I don't ask any money for anything. I know there's plenty of people trying to make a quick buck,
for sure.
but it's just about these connections. And basically, what I was trying to say was, I don't ask anything of anyone. So whenever I do ask something, like Aaron Watson, like, "Hey, you want to submit a video for our award show?" He was like, "Sure." I was like,
Okay.
"Really?" I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't expect you to say yes.
Cool.
But
He's
this,
really down to earth as well.
oh yeah, for sure. And I think that's what life's about. It's about the people that you meet and know. I mean, I have a business degree. I graduated college and all that stuff, but really once you graduate, it's all about who you know,
Yeah.
no matter what you're doing. I
For
mean,
sure.
that's how I was gonna go back to Dallas after I graduated college, but I just started making connections out here in Longview, and like I was pretty much given an office for cheap, and I was doing work for this person, and it's just crazy where life takes you and the people that you get to meet. Shoot, I mean, I can only imagine in your case, like
It's
you've met more amazing people and done like cooler things than a lot of people probably ever get to do.
I think I forget that sometimes. I'm very hard on myself, and
Mhm.
I forget that a lot of times. But I'm very fortunate for sure. And to have an experience like The Voice at 17 is really, really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
You know, most 17-year-olds are out partying, which maybe not, maybe not every 17-year-old, but around here in Texoma.
Whenever
um,
I was 17, I was just trying to get a baseball scholarship, and I did. But
that's awesome.
continue. Sorry.
No, you're good. But it just goes back to most 17-year-olds are um, not not trying to do what I'm trying to do.
They don't know what they want to do with their life.
Not what they want to do with their life at that point.
Shoot, a lot of people at my age, at 23, still don't know what they want to do with their life.
I was very fortunate to kind of find what I wanted to do very early on. I was 14, took my first trip to Branson. Saw everyone kind of, which is weird because I've figured out that I'm at Branson, but I saw everyone performing and the lights, the the crowd just it seemed like so much fun, and I just was kind of like, I think I'd like to do this. It's kind of a weird start, but I was very fortunate to kind of figure out what I wanted to do at that age.
You still hear me? Okay, cool. Well, Bailey, we are out of time. I thank you so much for coming on and
Thank
talking
you
with me.
for having me. I
It's
appreciate
been a pleasure.
Well, thank you for having me, and hopefully we'll get together soon. If you need anything, just let me know. I'm very fortunate that you asked me to do that virtual thing, so that was so cool. So if you need anything else like that, just let me know.
Of course, Bailey. Have a great day.
Thank you. I'll see you later.
Bye.